Ice cream bread from 78. Now I think the best way to eat ice cream is to eat it straight from the tub. However, like the first time I got up close with a man, this recipe has me second guessing. This recipe comes from a cookbook called Cookbook. They were very bright. We're gonna need 2 cups of full-fat ice cream. None of that healthy stuff. What are you trying to do, live longer? Now before we dive in, we need to wait for this to get soft, which is the opposite of what we're used to, depending on what you're diving into. 1, 2. Next we beat in 1.5 cups of flour, plus 1.5 teaspoons of floof powder. Boop. Well, this is unorthodox. And then into a greased loaf pan. Is that it? I'm not gonna tell you, oh, there's no way this is gonna work, because it makes sense, doesn't it? Ice cream has your sugar, your flavor, your fat, your dairy, everything. I've just never thought to come up with it. Now it says we can add sprinkles for the children. Screw that. This is for me. What do you take me for? Grown? Ah, look it! Bake at 350 for about 45 minutes. Just check yours with a toothpick. Ooh, ooh. Oh man, Frank. Perfectly sweet and soft and marvelous. Woo. Velveeta fudge from 1984. There are a lot of ways to make fudge, most of which aren't as problematic as this, but then again, who are we to fault the 80s? Start with a cup of butter in a heavy pan. I reckon this is a heavy pan. Heavy with the burden of whatever crime it is I'm going to commit. We melt that down with a half pound of Velveeta. Neither scientist nor scholar knows precisely what Velveeta is. It is the occult, the great unknown. Fire! Well, this is already critically disturbing. In goes 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. It's cheesy. Next up is 2 pounds of powdered sugar. Hold on. Yes, I see. It's the whole bag. Now, I'm no mathematician, but I'm not sure how this whole bag's gonna fit in here, Mildred. Her name is Mildred. This is not gonna work. It's not. Oh, no way. Oh, it's alive. Ooh. Finally, you take off the heat and add in some Nilla. Oh, it's like a tumor. To the fridge. Ooh. Man, that's a good fudge. A Civil War cake. Of course it uses lard. Why not? Honey, call the police. 2 cups of raisins. It's always the raisins. Add 1 egg of lard. What are you feeding your chickens? You happy? Sister. Ah, fire! A cup of coffee. No. 1 cup of coffee. This is a misdemeanor. I think I've summoned something. Brown sugar. Eggy. Lard. What do you want me to do with this? Call the CDC. This is the South's revenge. Ah! Flour. Apples. Add nuts. How much? I need nut instructions. Cinnamon. Woo! Smells deceased. Seems to have collapsed. Like the South. Tastes damp. Wet. A chocolate potato cake from 1912. This is why we don't perform lobotomies anymore. Boil a potato. Did I mention this was a cake? Skins stay on, unlike Americans. Fire! Cream the butter. Can we at least have coffee first? Butter go brrr. Should be a pale white. Eggy. Wakey wakey. Who's tough now? Moo juice. Bloop. Cinnamon. Chocolate. I bet this recipe is just all the wrong answers on a baking test. Smells like dentures. Go away. Goodbye. For the icing, we boil butter, sugar, milk, and chocolate. My time has come. Not bad, dead people. All right. You're not supposed to work. It's incredible, and I'm mad about it. A Hoover stew from the Great Depression. Now it stands to reason that this dish was named after the 31st President of the United States, a vacuum. This was the economical way to feed your family during a time where people were pinching pennies until Lincoln wept. Water! Salt! Fire! In goes a pound of macaroni. Now we slice a pound of hot dogs as thin as coins. Ah yes, brings back memories. Time to drain the pasta. Into a large pot goes 2 pounds of stewed tomatoes, pound of canned corn and the juice. Add in the hot dogs and simmer for 10 minutes. Dylan, you say, did people not have spices in the Great Depression? No, they didn't. Refer to depression. This is so much food. Yep. Is it bland? Yes. Is it bad? No. Especially when you consider that all of this cost me $6. Impressive. Why does every building in Bermuda have these strange-looking roofs? Well, it's a necessity when you're an island this small surrounded by the Atlantic. There's no fresh water, so our roofs are the only way to catch water. Rain here is not wasted. No, it's collected on these roofs and then stored in every house's tank. With no city plumbing or freshwater utilities, these tanks are essentially it, which means every house needs to conserve. 5-minute showers are considered long. And the roofs are white because they're painted with a special sanitary limestone wash. They're stepped because there's then more surface area to catch water. It's something Bermuda's been doing for a long time, even if you might find it a bit strange.
Last known confirmed sighting of the Loch Ness Monster was in here.
Old car versus new car. Quiet, luxurious V8. If it's not loud, how will they know it's a V8? 4-speed automatic. Why is there 10 gears? Why is there 10 of anything? Adult turn signals. Teenage angst. Halogens. My headlights are Jesus! Bench seat. Heated and cooled seats. If I had a butt, I'm sure I'd like it. Map light. We got RGB Gamer MLG Pro. I'm driving a brothel. Ponies. Leftover bread pancakes from 1947. Now, I love pancakes, so a homemade recipe which is easy, needs no flour, and lets you use up some stale bread seems too good to be true. Let's see if it is. We start with 7 or 8 slices of stale bread. Just tear it up and put it in a bowl. Adding to it 3/4 of a cup of milk. Moo juice! Time to mash! Next, a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar. They recommend 4 if these are for kids. Can I be a kid, please? Next is 1 teaspoon of floof powder, which is baking powder. I call it floof powder because it floofs. Finally, 1 egg. Beating thoroughly. A bit of oil. Then you just 3 minutes on each side on medium-high heat. Ooh, smell really good. That is good. They're so fluffy. Some good pancakes. I'm not even gonna wait for my bread to go stale. I'm just gonna make these. An emergency war cake. No eggs, no milk, no butter, no joy. There's no sugar either. Is this the cake? 2 teacups of raisins. How am I supposed to know how big your teacups are? Ira. 1 teacup of dates. Why do dead people like dates so much? Bam! Fire! 1.5 cups of molasses. Pretty sure this is how diesel is made. Cinnamon! Ira needs cloves. Easy does it. Wouldn't want to ruin a disaster. Here goes nothing. What in good God is this? Ira, honey, I'm going to war. Over what? Your cooking. Come on! This is the only cake that looks burnt before you bake it. Oh dear. Tastes like a boot. Like a size 10 boot. A blancmange from 1901. Now, blancmange literally translates to white dish, and judging by the lack of spices here, it certainly is Caucasian. We start with 1.5 pounds of almond milk. Since I'm not daft, I've converted that to 3 cups, one of which goes into a saucepan. The gentle peel of a lemon. Easy there, Shakespeare. Synonym! Nope, I lied. Sticks of synonym! Half cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, then the 2 cups of almond milk. Vigorous whisking. What counts as vigorous? Now that this is simmering, we add this in. I have no idea what's going on. No, it's all thick. Call the police. No spices for you. Now into serving dishes. How specific? Into the ice box overnight. Well, I don't have an ice box because I'm living. Best I can do is a fridge. Good morning. Whatever I was expecting, it wasn't this. There's no jello in here, just the dark arts. Oh. Taste is good. It's like Christmas, but it's unpleasantly slimy. Bizarre. Hardtack from the Civil War. Yes, whether it's expeditions, famines, wars, or student debt, this is what we bake in times of crisis. We start with 2 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of water. I bet you thought there was more. Nope, there's not. That's right, this is the most basic recipe in the history of history. Talk about stretching $1. This is some spandex level stretch. Oh, you're gluten-free? Sorry, all we have is gluten. We cut them into sad little squares. Time to poke some holes. You know, these kind of look like graham crackers, if graham crackers were made out of drywall. We then bake these boys at 250 for upwards of 4 hours to remove most of the moisture. And that's how these will last longer than even the most talented of men. These are roof tiles. Well, this is a first. Y'all really said Ford tough. Just aggressive. I mean, it doesn't taste bad. It's bread. Danger bread, but bread. Now, of course, you shouldn't eat them dry, but the taste is the same. A water pie from the Great Depression. Can you bake a pie with 4 ingredients? Yes! I could also eat my mattress. Fire your oven. I'm sorry, but we have to let you go. Pastry! It's been 13 months. What if I told you I hate pie? Oh boy, it fits! Fork it. I'm not that desperate. Blind bake the pastry. That's rude. Are you still here? Damn it. Add 3 gills of water. This is written for a fish. Is this a joke? Sugar! Flour. I think this qualifies as a pre-existing condition. Unconstitutional. Top with butter. We're not even at a red light. This is not legal! Alright, it finished a bit early, like my ex. It's a breast implant. No, man! Very bad! Tastes like lint. Soggy lint. A pound cake from 1904. Pound cake is one of my favorite things to do, but I'm single, so it's been a while. It's called such because the traditional recipe is a pound each of butter, sugar, eggs, and flour. Nothing else. We start by beating the butter. Now we slowly cream in a pound of sugar. Oh boy! Now I'm beating and creaming by hand because, as any man could tell you, that's how we all first learned. Good heavens! How many eggs? 9. We beat them in gradually. This is wild. And finally, the flour. Fold into a bunt. We bake this in a moderately slow oven for 80 to 100 minutes. Hello. I really just JFK'd this cake. Man, that's wonderful. For something that doesn't have any flavoring at all, you would not believe it. With a texture like nothing else. It's very good. But we don't talk about this. A tomato soup cake from 1950. What's the difference between margarine and shortening? The amount of time spent on the toilet. Need reinforcements. Sugar in a carton. Creamy. Sift your flour 3 times. Lady, your cake has tomato soup in it. This is the least of your worries. Cloves, cinnamon, and nutmeg. With the soup. Can't hide from me. I wish you could. Bloop. Synonym. No. 911, what's your emergency? Yeah, that lady Carol is at the barbecue again. Careful not to overmix. Sorry, I'm just trying to kill it. It smells like a hospital. Tomato spice. If pumpkin spice got hit by a bus. At least it's not moving. Icing. Shut up. Doesn't taste like tomato. Tastes like chocolate.
Good day, I'm Bob the Necromancer, and today we're doing an unboxing.